It began with a statement, just 200 words, released on a cool Tuesday morning from Buckingham Palace. The language was sterile, clinical, speaking of a necessary restructuring of royal trusts to ensure long-term institutional integrity. It was designed to sound like a routine administrative reform, but for those who understood the codes of the palace, this was a declaration of war. A royal bloodline had been surgically, brutally rewritten. Within hours, the truth detonated across the globe. King Charles III, under immense pressure from his own heir and his sister, had issued a decree that effectively erased Queen Camilla's family from the royal institution forever. This is Royal Herald, and today we deliver a special report on the secret royal war, the leaked document that served as the smoking gun, and the final decree that has left Queen Camilla a ghost in her own palace. Before we break down this unprecedented royal purge, we ask for a moment of your time. To support our mission of delivering these in-depth reports, please subscribe to Royal Herald, give this video a thumbs up, and activate the notification bell. Your engagement allows us to continue our work. To understand how this crisis erupted, we must go back. When Camilla became queen consort, she did not enter the palace alone. For years, she masterfully executed a silent, patient strategy of integration. Her children, Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopez, were slowly woven into the fabric of royal life. First, it was subtle. Soon, however, the lines began to blur. Tom, a respected food critic, was reportedly given an informal advisory role on the palace's wine cellars. Laura, a respected art curator, was consulted on art acquisitions for the royal collection. These were not official titles, but they granted unprecedented access and influence. A death by 1,000 cuts to ancient protocol. One senior staffer termed it entitlement wrapped in the cloak of courtesy. This was a deliberate dynastic calculation. Camilla was normalizing her bloodline within the Windsor circle, ensuring her legacy through sheer proximity. This slow-motion infiltration did not go unnoticed. At Kensington Palace, Prince William and Catherine, the Princess of Wales, watched with growing unease. For William, a man whose entire life has been defined by duty, lineage, and the tragic legacy of his mother, this was a fundamental threat. The crown, in his eyes, was earned through blood and sacrifice, not acquired through association. His role as the guardian of his mother's memory is a driving force in his life. He saw this not just as a breach of protocol, but as a deep and personal offense to the memory of Princess Diana. For the heir who watched his own mother be cast aside, the sight of another woman's children gaining such effortless proximity to the throne was an insult he could not bear. For years, Prince William remained silent, bound by duty and a desire to support his father. But a single event pushed the situation to its breaking point. A photograph emerged of Laura Lopez being given a private tour of the Duchy of Cornwall's royal estates, lands traditionally and symbolically overseen by the heir to the throne. To an outsider, it was an innocent tour. To William, it was a covert invasion. It was a sign that his stepsister was being positioned not just as a guest, but as a future custodian of his own sacred inheritance. Sources close to the Prince of Wales say this single image triggered a cold fury. The silent tolerance was over. In a series of private, reportedly tense meetings, William confronted his father. "This is not what she would have wanted," he is said to have stated, the she needing no explanation. But Charles was caught between his love for his wife and his duty to his heir. As the stalemate intensified, William enlisted the monarchy's most formidable and respected weapon. His aunt, Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, the institutional memory of the monarchy, had also been watching with quiet disapproval. In a rare and powerful intervention, she confronted her brother. She reportedly told him, "You are the king, but you are your mother's son." She did not sacrifice 70 years of her life to see the crown's integrity traded for domestic bliss. She would never have tolerated this. It was not a threat. It was a statement of fact from the keeper of Queen Elizabeth's legacy. The pressure on King Charles was now immense. As the king wavered, Camilla made her own desperate plea. In the private apartments of Buckingham Palace, she reportedly broke down, telling Charles that this decision would tear them apart. But just as his resolve began to weaken, the smoking gun appeared. A document was leaked to a prominent publication. It was a private royal draft from the Duchy of Cornwall's planning archives. The document named Laura Lopez as a future trustee for some of the Crown's historic estates. This was the proof William and Anne needed. It was evidence of a quiet, strategic plan to embed Camilla's family into the financial and ceremonial heart of the monarchy. Armed with this leak, William and Princess Anne made their final move. They presented the evidence to the king. The message was simple. This has to end. Now, the monarchy, they argued, could not survive the public perception that it had become a private playground for unelected elites. Trapped, and with the evidence of a profound betrayal of trust before him, King Charles had no choice. On a day the palace will never forget, the decree was issued. Camilla's family was permanently removed from all royal trusts and duties. To understand the scale of this, we must understand the finances. This decree cut off access to a river of gold, a web of trusts and properties worth billions, funded by the vast income of the royal estates. Their unofficial duties ended. Their special access was revoked. The king reportedly delivered the news to Camilla himself, his voice trembling as he told her, "The monarchy must survive us both." Witnesses say the queen consort's face was a mask of stone. She rose and left the room without a single word. In the days that followed, she became a ghost in her own castle. Her bright circle of influence collapsed, leaving her utterly alone. This was the tragic irony of Camilla's life. After decades of being vilified as the most hated woman in Britain, she had executed a masterful, patient public relations campaign. She had weathered the storms of scandal, slowly earning a grudging respect, and finally, the title of Queen Consort. Her ultimate goal, insiders say, was not just to win the king, but to secure a lasting and respected place for her own bloodline within the royal ecosystem. She had almost succeeded. This final decree was not just a political setback. It was the complete undoing of her life's work, a personal and public humiliation that erased her family from the history books before the ink was even dry. The public reaction, however, was explosive. Across the Commonwealth, from Canada to Australia, there was widespread celebration. "Diana would be proud" trended globally. The monarchy's approval ratings soared. The move was seen as a powerful course correction, a return to traditional values. The international response solidified the king's decision. Commonwealth leaders, many of whom value the stability and tradition of the crown, were reportedly relieved. The prospect of a Camilla dynasty had caused quiet concern, and this decisive action was seen as a reassurance that the Windsor line and the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II remained secure. This decisive act reshapes the future. It establishes a colder, more ruthless, but perhaps more stable monarchy under the eventual reign of King William V. It sends a clear message that tradition and bloodline are paramount. But it comes at a great personal cost for the current king. In the process of saving the institution as his mother would have demanded, he has potentially sacrificed his own personal happiness, creating a permanent, silent rift in his own marriage. The crown is secure, but the man who wears it is more isolated than ever. And now we turn to you. Do you believe this was a necessary act to protect the integrity of the crown, or a cruel betrayal of a mother and her children? Share your insights and opinions in the comments section below. Your perspectives truly enrich our discussions. And if you appreciate this in-depth royal analysis, please like this video, subscribe to our channel for more royal updates, and join us next time as we continue to explore the captivating world of the British royal family. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again.